Hello everyone. Hello everybody, yes we are live. We are live. I'm having a dance, I'm having a good time. Got some funky playlist. I've just decided that all painting videos from now on are immediately improved by having a funk intro. And I think a lot of people have agreed with me because they've been commenting on the videos going, kick-ass playlist, dude. Good evening, good evening, good evening to everybody, good evening to everybody. Wow, 115 of you are viewing right now. Very nice to see you all. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having a good time. Tonight, we are painting the most requested miniatures of all times. Now, a lot of you will have had pretty good guesses. The problem is you're all thinking that it's something good. But I kid you not, in the past 2 weeks, the most requested miniatures on this channel, and I counted 38 individual requests for this. The most requested miniatures of all time on my channel have been the Ripper Swarms. Guys, why? Why are Ripper Swarms the most requested miniature of all time on this channel? I don't understand. I've just realised that my other computer's on. Hang on. There we go. It is, yeah, Dambuster. It is legit the most requested video of all time. Do you know what's in second place? In second place on the channel of most requested miniatures of all times is the Mutalith Vortex Beast with 9 requests. 9 separate people have asked me for a Mutalith Vortex Beast. It's crazy. Ripper Swarms, man. Ripper Swarms. So, we're going to be painting the Ripper Swarms tonight. Now, this should not be a surprise to anybody watching how this video is going to go. Oh, for goodness sake. Technology's being a bum again. These are the plastic ones! Sussy 69. They're the new plastic ones. I need an app. That's what I need. Camo. But what I can show you as a continuation of last week's stream, is what I have done the last 3 days. Behold my work, ladies and gentlemen. Behold. So, we talked about doing some other hive fleets, and as you'll recall, live on the stream last week, we painted up Mr. Tiamat, and we painted up Lotan as well. So there's those two, and they are, you've already seen those. However, the last 2 days really, because I did the Psych of Age on Monday, we have Jormungandr, we have Kraken, we have Behemoth, we have... Sorry, not... That's Kraken. The other one was Hydra. That one's Hydra. Hydra. We have Kraken. We have Gorgon. We have Kronos. We have Ouroboros, or Ouroboros, or however you want to say it. And finally, we have Setu, or Ketu, or Chetu, however the hell you're supposed to pronounce it. But there they are. 8 more Tyranid videos working their way over, coming this week. And then after that, no more 40k for like 2 or 3 weeks. It's all AOS all the time, forever and ever. Peter, yes. I meant to message you. These will be coming to the channel very soon, but we have a Primaris champion. This will be painted as an Imperial Fist. And for all you Primarch fans out there, we have the next in the series, Mortarion. There they are. Thank you very much, Peter, for sending those across. They shall be done in due time. They will be done in due time. Right. As always, guys, please do leave a like on the stream if you're enjoying yourselves. Mr. Warhipster is over 10th. I am over 10th. I'm done with it. No, I'm not. Any chance Nurglings might be on the AOS list? Nurglings specifically, no, but there are some Nurgle models that are on the list. But I will add Nurglings to the list. I'll just have to buy some. And I do need to get some for my Nurgle demons. Right. Guys, the most requested miniatures of all time on the channel. The new Ripper Swarms. Here they are. And we will probably have time to do this. We're just going to get the teleport homer done as well. So, we best get on with it then. Skippy, I need to get a Star Drake. I need to get a Star Drake. To do that video, but it is on my list. Interestingly, of the requests on the channel, the Star Drake comes in at 6. 6 individual requests for a Star Drake. 1, 2, 3. 1 big dollop of Caribou Crimson from Lamia Medium. There we go. An Ogre Stonehorn. Yes, actually. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We will be... And thank you very much for the 2, by the way, Skippy. That's very kind of you. You can make requests in Discord, you can make requests in Patreon, you can make requests in the comments, and you can make requests right here. Pretty much everything gets added to the list. Right, 3 parts Lamia Medium to 1 part Carabao Crimson mix. Because these are going to be in the same colours as the rest of Leviathan. And we're just going to whack this over the top of all of the skin. I hope you're happy out there, Ripper Swan fans. Some requests don't go on the list because some of the requests are like are just a bit silly. So it's like things like can you paint like can you do Ultramarines 4th Company? It's like no, just change the gold to green or whatever it is. But you know, pretty much invariably every request is heard and it's put on my mammoth to-do list of models that need to get done. Which, you know, whilst I have had a bit of a mare of it the last couple of days because I've been very, very tired, having done now 10 hive fleets does actually reduce quite a lot of the requests that we've had on the channel. Doobie-doo. So what did you just say? Captain Mannerings, thank you very much for the one gifted membership. It's very kind of you. Did you know that if everyone likes the stream, YouTube will personally reach out to me and say, congratulations, everyone likes you. And because I'm a content creator, that's obviously what's the most important thing to me. But also, did you know? I was thinking about this the other day. It's crazy, right? Because obviously, you know, you can't think in terms of this, but if everybody that subscribed to the channel made a £1 super chat, I would be set up for a year. It's crazy that, right? So then you think about like people like Jacksepticeye or Jackfrags or whatever, all the Jacks, and you go, oh hang on, they've got Jacksepticeye in particular, right? He has 30 million subscribers. If every single person on that donated £1 on one day, he would be set for life. It's crazy, isn't it? And when you think of like an audience that size, you imagine. I mean, I struggle with 42,000 people, which is just, you know, blows my mind. That's capacity of quite a few football stadiums are subscribed to the channel and have watched or will watch or continue to watch at some point my videos. It's insane when you think about it in those terms. I love it though. I'm very, very grateful. Because, you know, I have the best job in the world and I'm incredibly privileged to have that job. And my life is amazing. And I love helping people with painting. I love just entertaining people. I love being a distraction. I love being just any help, assistance that I can give. I love this job. I absolutely adore this job. And I think I was always destined to do this job in some way, shape or form. Which is why I do things like release a video every day for the last 16 days. Well, no, more than that, because we've done some live streams in between. We've got 8 more for the Tyranids coming, so 24 days of non-stop video content. So everybody has all the tools they need at their disposal to paint their lovely Leviathan boxes. And it just makes me so happy knowing that people out there are having a good time with that box and that I in any way, shape or form helped. And I love doing these live streams. Just love hanging out with you guys, it's great. I mentioned last week that I went to see Bruce Springsteen at Villa Park, and he said something extremely poignant during the gig. And it made me really mad at him because he's just so good at that kind of thing. And it's like, you know, but he said when you're a young man, it's all hellos and tomorrows. Life is all hellos and tomorrows. And as you get older, it becomes a lot more about goodbyes and yesterdays. And I've been thinking about that ever since he said that, and I was like, yeah, man, that is life. But in my universe, there's so many hellos and tomorrows. And I have such a hopeful, future-based existence that I didn't necessarily have in any other role before. And, you know, Bruce could have said something like that on the stage when I was in my previous jobs, when I wasn't working on YouTube tutorials. And that would have just sent me to bits because I'd have been like, oh god, I'm running out of hellos. But isn't that just one of the most beautiful things you ever heard? Oh my goodness me, I turn around for 5 minutes. Ripper, I hardly know her. Thank you very, very much, everybody. The Skippy, €5. Thank you very much. You helped me out with Karazai and the Stormdrakes. No thanks needed. I gotta thank you for your work on your videos. I've sent pics on Facebook. I shall have a look. I'm waiting for you to paint the rest of my army. What's the rest of your army, Malonzo? We don't like you. We love it. I don't like you either. Manthis, welcome to being a member. Thank you very much. It's very, very kind of you. I should update this because we have had 2 new wonderful members join. There we go. Ben McGuckin, thank you very much for the 199. That is very, very, very kind. Vicious Goose, thank you very much for the 5. Mark coming in with a 9.99. Thank you very much. Millhouse. Everything's coming up Millhouse for me now. Thank you very much for the 1. Christoph, thank you very much. Crickster as well, thank you. Mike's Painted Minis with the 4.99, thank you. Don't forget about the classic Hive Scheme, Sussy69. I'll try to find time to do one of them. Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. Your horse is amazing, Captain Manwings. And Dale, thank you very much for the 5. That's very, very, very kind of you. Ripper, I hardly know her. Liquor? I hardly knew her. You're welcome, William. for all the help on painting Leviathan. SWE Raze. First time for me joining this live stream. Hello. Welcome. Welcome, Commander Diord. Did I get your name right the first time? Yes! I so rarely get that right. My brother's called Ben. I constantly get his name wrong. We're painting Ripper Swarms, Holy Diver. You can't see their stripes. Good evening, Phil. Barry, you are very welcome. I'm glad you enjoy all of the Leviathan content. Cool. That's the first part done. Honest to goodness. Right. Is it worth it? It might be worth it. Probably should, right? It's consistency for consistency's sake. Although I didn't do it on the Neurogaunts because it didn't need it on the Neurogaunts because it was quite a small amount. And I shan't do it on these either. We're not going to mix Leviathan Purple and Shage Purple because we don't need to. Because it's small enough space that we can just use Leviathan Purple straight off. I would show you the state of chaos that my desk is in at the moment, but I think it might upset people because it's upsetting me. So like the last 2 days, I've just been laser focused on doing I've just been laser focused on doing all of those hive fleets. There it is. Holy Diver, they're not doo-doo. They're very expensive, but they're very good. And there will be a tutorial for them because I've resolved that I'm gonna get my bikes done this year, in the next couple of months. Right, Leviathan Purple straight off the rip. That's going on. No mixing required here. Leviathan Purple. No, we won't dry brush them with Wraithbone because it'll be a bit difficult to get in and around it because of the way these models are. But what we will do is we'll just go in there and just hit the top bits with some Wraithbone on a brush as normal. So the scheme is the same pretty much. But because of the angle of the dangle, trying to get in and around it with a dry brush would just be kind of counterproductive. And you'll end up getting Wraithbone everywhere where you don't want it. Fab. Check that out. Way. I think the interesting thing with Custodes, right, is that I think since they've had an army, I think what they've needed to be is like an army that has a couple of tech pieces that it uses for very specific roles. And I think when they've been at their strongest, it's been because they have stuff that is not doing that, or because the meta is moved towards a certain direction, and so that, you know, they actually turn out to be really, really good. Because both times they've had a codex, at least in my memory, the codex has dropped and then it's been really, really strong for about a month and a half, and then everyone's adapted to them, and then they've dropped down to kind of like probably still an A rank, but not quite a, you know, S tier army that they had perhaps been for the month that they've been around. And I think that very much happened in 9th with the kind of taking, I know it was 12 bikes, but some people were running 18 bikes. And then just taking all melter missiles. And then you had Trajan hanging around with something. But as my compadres will tell you from Team Tournament, the hard, easy counter to a Custodes list was demons. Because Custodes were flattening all the other 9th edition armies, and then that 9th edition book just could not cope with an 8th edition book. Because there were just bad matchups all over the shop, right? So like, bikes having to deal with a bloodletter bomb, you just couldn't handle it. Because it's like, yeah, you'll kill 6 bloodletters at range. Well done. From a unit of bikes. You see what I mean? Because no one was running the hurricane bolters. So I think where they sit now, currently in 10th, is they sit very much as that, like, you have a unit of 2 bikes with a captain, say, and that is a significant chunk of your points. But what it does is it's one thing extremely effectively, but it doesn't like kind of just sit as like a catch-all unit as really, really good at doing everything. So it doesn't like zip onto objectives and have objectives secured and then also deal with the vehicles and then also deal with the infantry in combat. You see what I mean? There we go. Leviathan on. Hello, Cameron. "89 likes. That's very, very nice. I had a friend who ran 18 bikes, was annoying as AF to my GSC. Yeah, see, it's, and it like, it yeah. What do you still need to do from the box? This is it. Ripper Swarms, they're done. Well, and the Teleport Homer. "97 likes on the stream. That's one of the things I actually do like about the Custodes book. There's a reason. It's not a great reason, but there is a reason to take a sisters character and a big unit of sisters to attach them. Before they were just like, you know, they would do actions or they would sit on objectives, and that was it. That was what people were using them for. Whereas now, there's a reason to take a Knight Oblivion Knight, Obliviate, whatever it's called. Knight Centura, which means I will get my Janisha Kroll once I free up some funds. Because I want to get Janisha Kroll to run as a Knight Centura, whatever it is called. Fate Azura. Hi, a random question I have about Lotan. What colour would you use for the brain matter on their brain bugs? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I would go for... I would probably... Because it's predominantly red scheme, and you've got the blue of the carapace, your choices, I think, are either really kind of aggressively bright green, because green always goes with red in Warhammer, because like green eye lenses on Blood Angels, for example. Or you could go for like an ice blue, which would sit in the same color palette alongside the dark purple. Would be something I would do. The other thing, of course, you can do is look at a color wheel, and look at what a complementary color of that would be. I can show you how we color wheel. So, if we just take this one, for example, let me just add a window into my soul. There we go. So, you see this? You see the color wheel just here? Let me hang on. Let me just make it a bit smaller. There we go. So, when you do a complementary color, this is a very basic color wheel. When you do a complementary color, you look at a color wheel and you just go opposite. So red here, green. You see? Purple here, yellow. This purple, there. Orange, blue. Orange, teal. Green, red. Purple, green. You see what I mean? So if you look at like a really big color wheel, like say, let's go with this one. So you see how you've got loads and loads of different shades around here. Crystal blue, you would then go to Gold Rush. That would be the complementary color because it's directly opposite one another. Cranberry would be complementary color would be Emerald. Ruby, it would be Willow. Poppy, it would be Glacier. Lagoon, it would be Sorbet. So if you're trying to think of what a color to do on something that you don't know what it would look like, just do that. Look at color wheels and then just go for the opposite color. Make sense? Yeah, so there you go, right? Fate Azura. Those would be two good options. Dan, yes, there are. There are more Chaos models in my backlog. I have the mutants from the Accursed Cultists unit to do. These guys. I just ran out of time to get them done, as well as get a couple of Seraphon videos out in preparation to get Leviathan done. So I've got more Seraphon to do. I have a Skink Starseer, I think is what it's called. I have the Spawn of Chotek, and I have the Agrodon Lancers as well to get done. Right. You're hoping to see me paint High Fleet Typhon in contrast. Do you know what, Papa Kaz? It will probably happen. I literally went down a list of, you know, what are the most popular Tyranid hive fleets. And I went for firstly the ones that were in the last codex. So Gorgon, Jormungandr. This is Black Legion, by the way. Gorgon, Jormungandr, Kronos. Others. Kraken, Leviathan, and then I looked at the Warhammer community and I saw the article that they did about hive fleets, and I just picked the ones that were there, and then Typhon was the last one. It's the only one I don't have a model for, unfortunately. Right, hang on. But I'm sure I will procure some more Tyranid models. Because I now have the makings of a Tyranid army. Something I never thought I would have in my life. I've missed a bit of skin here, so I'm going to have to colour that in. And I will do Typhon at some point. I could pop down to my local Games Workshop and see if he's got any miniatures of the month for me. One of them was a Termagant, wasn't it? Do. I am so very, very excited, guys, to get back to doing some Age of Sigmar. It's been very, very 40k focused for the last couple of weeks, naturally. But you know, Age of Sigmar is where, I guess, like, Age of Sigmar is currently where my true passion for Warhammer lies, and it has done for quite a few years. Because I love 40k, and I always will. 40k was really my first Warhammer love. But I go through phases of 40k of like just it being the only thing I want to play. Whereas AOS, I'm always just like, I think I'm excited by every release that happens in that game system. Because the models are just like, and this is coming from somebody who, I do a lot more modeling than I do playing, right? So it just excites me a lot more as a painter. Like even Tyranids as a faction, right? They are completely different to everything else in the 40k space. However, they do still have dudes walking around with guns, and it's like, come on. Like it does disappoint me a little bit that it's not Hormagaunts in the Leviathan box, or at least that there weren't 10 Hormagaunts in the Leviathan box. But you know, Termagants are fine. It's just they're just little dudes with guns. Whereas in AOS, you still have those kind of, you know, oh, every faction gets this type of thing. But like, when you have a faction that has dinosaurs that ride dinosaurs, it's tough to be mad at that, you know. I love the Seraphon. They are an army I would like to finish. I'd like to get 2,000 points of them done. They can join my... well, I guess my Dawnbringer Crusade of a Grand Alliance Order collection. Because I've got a big Sylvaneth army now. And I have a big Stormcast collection, of which I need to get rid of like 4,500 points of it. There we go. What's your favourite Stormhost to paint? Do you know what? I have a huge Anvils of the Heldenhammer army. I loved painting Hallowed Knights, and I loved painting the Celestial Vindicators, but I really, really, really like the Hammers of Sigmar. The gold, I just love it. Any more Middle Earth videos? I loved your guide from Morannon Orcs and Gothmog. Yeah, I need to get the other two. Do you have any Nighthaunt? Yes. I've got a couple of Nighthaunt videos. And I've got 2 other things that I can do for Nighthaunt. 3 other things that I can do as Nighthaunt videos. It's just finding the time. Any opinions of streaking grime? I like grime, and I like weathering, and I like chipping, and I like it when it's done tastefully. I don't like it when you have an entire army that's basically just sat in a swamp. If it's an army that just kind of wouldn't do that, do you know what I mean? So I think there's I really love it when you see someone having like applied like real life weathering to a vehicle. So like, you know, there's a bit of rust around the joints and occasional bit of chipping around areas that would see a lot of use. So like on a dreadnought, for example, around the fist, if you've got like kind of scratches and stippling around that kind of the coloured armour around the fingers, I love it so much. I think it looks great. And like the occasional like scuff marks and like bits of like kind of leakage of rust or whatever, or just streaking down from rivets and things like that. But when it's just like, here is my brown model, I'm just like, nah. I don't like it. When I say I need to get the other 2, Dan, for Middle Earth, I mean the other 2 battle hosts. I need to get the Mordor and Minas Tirith one. And I worry when I do what's it called? Weathering, that I'm being too formulaic with it. Like I'm putting it in places where it feels like it's not natural. You see what I mean? It's just something I don't really get on with doing myself. Volupus Pink, right there. Right, so next up we're going to use some Volupus Pink. Actually no, on Leviathan we don't use Volupus Pink, we use Doomfire Magenta. What's next on the painting list after Seraphon? Well, who knows? I think in terms of really big AOS projects, because I've got lots of little things I want to do for AOS. In terms of big AOS projects, I might just save myself for Cities of Sigmar. Which I think we're going to see a significant preview of this weekend coming. Because there's a preview happening over on Twitch. And I think we've seen 3 models now. We've seen the Cavalry. We've seen a couple of the infantry, and we've seen that that character, the line boss or whatever it was called. I can't remember. I think this weekend we're going to see I'd like to see 2 or 3 more things. Or even just the named, whatever the named character is going to be. And I wonder if it's going to be the star of the show from the Dominion box, whose name escapes me right now. The Dawnbringer herself. I'm very excited to see who's next for Age of Sigmar, you know? Because AOS 1 was Chaos, AOS 2 was Death, AOS 3 was Destruction, so we are veering towards a Chaos release, I believe. But given as like Hedonites have had a huge amount of models, Khorne doesn't really need anything. Maybe Tzeentch. Maybe the Disciples are gonna get something. But then the Zangor aren't that old either. And the Maggotkin have had a bunch of stuff. I wonder if we're going to get Dark Oath. I'd love a Dark Oath army. Do you have a PO box for people to send you stuff? I don't, but I should probably get one. What I have is an email address or a private message on Discord, and you can message me and say, do you want this? Skaven. Oh, Cameron, that is a really good shout. That's a really good shout, actually. Is the model a Gretchen? Duncanstein. No, it is Ripper Swarms. For some strange, godforsaken reason. Boop-a-doop-a-doo-doo-doo. I think you could be onto something there, Cameron, around Skaven. This is going to be Ian and Yellow. I'm going to put this over the top of all of their eyes. That is way too heavy. Whoa. A 100 Ripper Swarms versus 100 Grots. It's just straight Leviathan purple on here. Duncanstein, that is very, very kind of you. My mental health has been pretty steady the last few months, actually. Do you know what? Before Warhammer Fest, I was having, I think, approaching anxiety about going, about just being in such close proximity to so many people, and then also fundamentally like shooting on location was what I was worrying about, and like hoping that I just got anything good out of that weekend in terms of footage, because I don't shoot on location very often at all, and it's like, when do those moments present themselves? And I was like, am I going to be able to cover this in a way that is befitting of Warhipster? And I was very conscious of making sure that the videos were fun and a true reflection of my experience of Fest, and at the same time it's just being present and enjoying it, and I worried that I wasn't going to be able to achieve all of those aims, but I think Warhammer Fest videos were great, and they're some of my favourite ones that I've done. And it was a success, and I think since then I've been okay. I mean, the last sort of week, I think I've been a little bit tired because of just trying to get all of this Leviathan stuff done, you know, because it is a lot of work to get an entire set like this painted up. And so, like, again, it's like, am I doing the right thing? Am I painting this the right way? Is this going to be useful? Do people even want to see this? And what you have to reconcile a little bit with when you're doing a set like this is that some models are extremely popular and some are just not. So, like, I put the librarian video out first because he was my favorite. He was my favorite of the models, So he was the first Space Marine I painted, and that one did really well. But then the next video, the Winged Tyranid Prime, didn't do as well, and that is, you know, that's just YouTube, right? But you know, it has been stressful trying to get every video done every day for the past 16 days. But mentally, I've been quite strong. It's just, you know, physically, I'm very tired. And I want to... I posted this on Instagram. I want to play Final Fantasy 16. But one, I can't afford to buy it this month because I had to go to the dentist and get another £200 filling up here. And two, I haven't had the time. Also, the heat, yeah, the heat has been awful. The hay fever has absolutely destroyed me. So like, painting in those conditions was really tough. So doing that at the same time as editing. So what I was doing, let me kind of the last 2 weeks, my schedule has looked thusly. Wake up at 10:30, do some admin, then have some lunch, then edit video, then paint tomorrow's video, put the basing on, wake up the next day, do the basing, edit the video, do tomorrow's video, and it's just been that on repeat for the last sort of 16 days. And yeah, it's just been like doing that in the conditions that it has been in, with all of the I did, Chewy. I've been working my way through some hay fever relief stuff. That has kind of finally kicked in a little bit the last couple of days. I still wake up and every moment that I live is agony for the first first half an hour, and then I seem to just kind of settle down a little bit. Plops of Corn, thank you very, very much for the 19.99. Late to the party tonight because of work. What are you painting up tonight? I'm painting the most requested miniature of all time. Ripper Swarms. They're nearly done. Dear Warhipster, you still owe us a painting video for Alariel in that awesome Japanese maple colour scheme from last year. Any chance we'll be getting this in the future? Yes, HWK89. Alariel is primed. She's primed and ready to go. It's just a case of finding the time. Find me a time. You have both brand new Mordor and Minas Tirith battle host boxes gathering just. I'd happily send them to you. Oh, Ricky, that would be exceptionally kind of you. The funny thing is about the Minas Tirith one is most of it's covered, but I still really want to do it, like how to paint that battle host box. The Mordor one is similar, but again, you still want to cover it because those are different orcs, right? They're not Mordor orcs. No, they are Mordor orcs in there. There's Mordor and Morannon. Chairhammer, thanks for such meticulous videos, dude. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you. And thank you very much for the 3. That's very, very kind of you. Here are our Ripper Swarms so far. They are... Sorry, should we do this properly? Should we do this like it's a video? Let me just turn the video. So we say... Oh, hang on. I need to thin the paint down. Philip, yes! You've got your Leviathan box. Do you know what I meant to do, actually, the other day? I meant to I wonder if I can do it from here. Yes, I can. So what I meant to do was, as a thank you to everyone, damn it. I have to do it a bit later. I was going to gift some memberships to the chat. I need to grab my card though to do that. So I will do that. But you know, you guys have just been like super supportive the last sort of 3-4 weeks, and I just wanted to see if we can get some more people into Discord. As a big thank you. Right. We're doing this as a video now. Tiggertails, been enjoying all your Leviathan content. Your guides have me sorted now for Tyranid painting. Good, Tiggertails, I'm glad. Don't forget though, there is more. There's 8 more Leviathan videos. We've got all the other hive fleets to go. Right, here we go. So, this is the point in the video where I would go. So with that done, our Ripper Swarms are now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. But we're not going to leave them there, no. We're going to take them to the next level. And we're going to do this by adding some layers and some highlights. Now the first one we're going to add is some thinned down Wraithbone. And we're going to use this to effectively relayer most of the skin. And so we're just going to start around here on this shoulder. And we're just going to add little blobs of it like this and like this. Now typically we would dry brush this, but because these guys are quite small and a little bit fiddly, we almost don't need to get in there with the dry brush, because we'll end up getting it in places that we don't necessarily want to get it. So we're just going to brush this on just like this. And then I would turn the camera off. You see? That's how we do that. Can you show Gorg? My goodness me, Cameron. Cameron, what are you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for the 20 gifted memberships. That is incredibly kind of you. If you received a membership from Cameron, being an absolute lad... There's Gorgon. There's Gorgon. Cameron, man, that is incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. Hope that's enough to buy and paint Fulgrim. It probably is, actually. Michael Penny, do you think switching to contrast paint is better than using all base paints? Just started getting into the hobby in the last month or so. I think using both is a really great thing to do. But using base and layer paints to begin with teaches you the fundamental basics of painting, which is a good thing. Contrast is slightly different. And by slightly, I mean quite different. Because you, rather than like sort of with base and layer paints, what you do is you layer up from, you know, essentially. So let's say you prime a miniature black. You then layer up to the color that you want. Whereas with contrast, you come down from white or bone or bright grey. So there is a slight difference in it, but I think having all of these things at your disposal as a painter will benefit you. But what I would recommend is just pick up a couple just to kind of speed up a couple of things. And test it out and see if you like it. There is a bit more of a learning curve with it though, but because you're new, you don't have like kind of years and years of painting with base and layer paints in a kind of traditional sense. So that will actually benefit you in the long run. But welcome to the miniature painting hobby, buddy. It's wonderful to have you. You're joining possibly the most supportive, lovely, collaborative, creative, inspiring, entertaining, amusing, funny community anywhere on the planet, in the form of the wargaming community. And we shall add your distinctiveness to our own. We are the Borg. Have I mentioned before how much I wish that how much I want Star Trek tabletop war games? I would really like a Star Trek tabletop war game set during the Dominion War. That's the thing I want. That's kind of really the only kind of TV-based bit that really supports it. Unless you go further back to the war with the Klingon Empire and things like that. That said, there's a really good episode of there's the episodes of Voyager with, is it crewman Sutter, who is just a bit of a psychopath, and Tuvok tries to sort of make him a good man, and he becomes a pacifist, but is one of the only ones to escape capture by the Kazon, and he has to recapture the ship by murdering Kazon. He doesn't really want to do it, but he ends up doing it anyway. Now, a tabletop game based on being an away team that has to retake its own ship would be great. Are you going to do Lord Croak from AOS? I am going to do Lord Croak. He will finish off my Seraphon coverage when I get around to doing the Seraphon in a couple of weeks' time. So there we go. Now that that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Screaming Skull, wherever the hell it is. No. There it is. Contrast is trickier on large, smooth surfaces. It's not as simple as adding a base and layer paint. I've got a couple of contrast versus classic videos. And I need to do some more of those because those are really fun. And you guys seem to quite like them. So next up, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Screaming Skull, and we're going to apply this to the teeth. Just leaving a little bit of that Doomfire magenta surrounding it. To look like the gums. And they're starting to look close to being done, you know. Oh, that's narrow. Ultramarines contrast versus classic. Yeah, that is very much on the list of things to do. Because, you know, I've got to somehow make more Space Marine content. Because, you know, I've done done so many Space Marine painting tutorials. And I do love painting Space Marines. I'm considering picking up a new Space Marine army. And covering it as in depth as I have the Blood Angels. And depending on what our new releases are going to look like, because there will be new releases with the Codex, same as there's more stuff coming for the Tyranids. We already know this because we've seen old Death Leaper, haven't we? He was previewed. So whatever's coming for the Space Marines, what I might do is I might just look at them and just be like, does this fit with Blood Angels, or does it fit with something else? So if, for example, like, we saw another range of I don't know, something like the Phobos Marines, let's say, then I would be inclined to be like, no, I don't think these will fit with the Blood Angels. I think these would fit more with Raven Guard, so maybe I'll start a Raven Guard army. But yeah, I've as a consequence of having finished off the Leviathan box content, I have 315 315 Blood Angels. So I have 3 companies of Blood Angels. So do I do an Imperial Fists army? That's the question, Altian. Well, that's the interesting thing, Sussy69. I think with World Eaters, it's a bit of a kind of hot potato, because you don't really want to touch them, you see, because and the reason for that is because there's a second part of the release coming. There clearly is. There's clearly going to be a second half of that because it's incomplete. Hello, Archaon. I do have some possess to do. A revamped Blood Angels Assault Termies with different squads would be nice. Yeah. Assault Terminators would be nice. Some Assault Marines. Like, this is the thing, right? Is if the next range of Space Marine releases that comes out, because there will be some, absolutely. But if they're like, hey, here's some new Vanguard veterans and here's a new Assault Squad and they're all jump packs, it's like, well, of course they're Blood Angels. Unless it's all, you know, here's Vanguard vets, but new Vanguard vets, but they've all got lightning claws. You'd be like, okay, well, they look like Raven Guard. That's a good shout, Cameron. Well, and that's it, Fate. I don't know what's coming for the Dark Angels either. I have a Dark Angels army. I don't play with it because I got bullied when I used it. So, next up. Hang on. We're doing this like a video, Josh. Come on now. We'll grab 2 brush loads of this so that we don't run out. I also thought, do I do a Grey Knights army again? For like the 3rd time in my life. Do I do a Grey Knights army? Alright, so next up we're going to use some thinned down Gene Stealer Purple. We're going to use this to highlight all of the chitinous armor. Just like that. What was the worst Leviathan mini to make for you? Yours was the Von Ryan's Leapers. Yeah, they were a bit of a pain in the ice. Yeah, they were a bit of a pain in the ass. The worst one for me was the Screamer Killer was a little bit difficult. Often though, for me, like the worst parts of doing boxes like this are whenever you have a ton of one model. So like if I was to compare, so I've done the last 3 boxes for YouTube, right? So I did what's it called? Indomitus. I did Dominion. Which, by the way, if AOS 4 is on the way next year, I'm so excited for another big box. I'm also excited for more new Stormcast, because I love Stormcast Eternals. And I'd be excited to add some more guys to my Celestial Vindicators. Yeah, the Screamer Killer. And also the Psychophage as well. Building his main body was an absolute pain in my arse. How is everybody's Leviathan boxes coming along? You've had it for like a week now, right? A week? 3 days? I'm excited to see what you guys get up to with it. Because whilst I've painted mine obviously in the colours of the mighty ninth. I'm excited to see, you know, how my Patreon and Discord, YouTube members' Discord gets on with the box. So I know they're all busy beavering away at it. Looking for a natural colour scheme for the Tyranids. As in colours found in nature, or...? Boop. Hello, ADR Wargaming. How are you, son? There we go. It is. Ripper Swarms are getting painted right now. Jack. Is the lion hard to find? Wow. I don't know. Adam, what are you doing coming in here smashing down 20 gifted memberships? Oh my. I do need to get to closer to 200. Well, we're 19 away from 200. Does anyone else wanna push us over? Hang on, have you done it twice, Adam? No. The lion. Got any plans for the new Death Leader? Is that the one in the Harbingers? Yes, I'd like to do it. The new Flesh Eater Courts, right? Oh, the Death Leaper. Yes. If the Death Leaper makes its way to me, I will 100% do the Death Leaper. As well as any other new Tyranid models that may or may not come out in the future. You know what I would love to see, actually? I was actually saying this to Adam the other night. I would like to see a single kit, right, that builds a new kind of reimagined, reproportioned, or whatever, however you want to look at it. By the way, if you got one of those 20 gifted members from Adam, please do make sure to say thank you to him. He's out here being a boss. But I'd like to see a new box that kind of reimagines things like the Exocrine and the Tyrannofex and maybe some other big beasties that we haven't seen yet. Because I think it's undeniable, right, that the Leviathan box Tyranids look better than most of the other Tyranids. There are some that still look great, but I think these ones have absolutely raised the bar. Which, you know, you could kind of see when the what's name came out, the Parasite and Mortrex. Oh my goodness me. Argowen. Thank you, firstly, for becoming a member. That's very kind of you. But then thank you very much for the 10 gifted memberships. And then Dean P, you've also become a member. Which I believe puts us on 193. Yes. A 193 members. 7 more. What's the next goal? Is it 300? Is it 400? Is it 500? Is it 210? When the channel gets to 1,000, I don't know, take my clothes off. I'll do the hot tub stream I was always asked for. Lots of tiny Gene Stealer purple lines. You guys. That's it. That's it. That's 200. That's 201. If my maths. So we had 139. Oh. Warlord Titan now. Alright. Let me just go and buy a Warlord Titan. I need to do my Warhound Titan. Maybe that's August's job. A Mutalive Vortex Beast tutorial. There you go, there's another option of it. You did offer to let me paint it. I do not think you're bluffing, Peter. Oh, Crudeback, that's very, very kind of you. But Peter, thank you very much for the 2 gifted memberships. Argawen, thank you for the another 1 gifted and another 5 gifted memberships. You guys are just out here slaying it today. Do you use a paint well or a wet palette for mixing contrast? No, I just use a piece of palette paper is what I use. Dean out here with another gifted membership. Guys, stop it. Well, don't stop it. I love it. At the same time, just smashing your wallets out. What shall I set as the next goal? You guys decide. What's the next milestone? Is it 5,000? I'm not sure if this is a stupid question, but speed paint and medium is fine to use with contrast, isn't it? I think so. I think it's fine. $222, $350, $250. So if I do that, that doesn't feel very neat. I like it though. Symmetry. I like it. I like it. I like 250. 340, 420. No, let's do let's do 300. There we go. Is it not on there, Peter? I will get it in there. Shoot me a message. So guys, 98 more memberships for my goal of 300. And you'll make a grown man cry in one stream. If I sit back like this, I can see the chat a bit easier. Do you know what I need to do? I need to get a little, like a little monitor to just put just here, so that I can. I want to see another man cry. Oh, trust me, it's happened on this stream. Oh, not on this stream, but it's happened on these lives before, because I just get incredibly overwhelmed by the well of incredible generosity that you guys have, and it makes my heart get all full, and then I have to let it out. Because you guys are the goats. Zeke, I read that as, I would love to see your take on crying. It's pretty much the same as anyone else's. You'd love to see my take on Nagash. Yes, Nagash is on my list. He's on my list of things to do. Now, the reason I haven't got to him yet is because I like to paint the gods when I have an army. Not necessarily the one that they belong to, but I like to paint them when I have makings of a 2,000 point army. And I haven't done Nagash yet because I've been struggling to decide whether or not I'm going to do Soulblight Gravelords or Flesh Eater Courts, and I think I've settled on Flesh Eater Courts, you know. So, dumb question, but have you done a Lamarties tutorial? BH, I haven't done a Lamarties tutorial. I do have Lamarties, but he's out in the shed. So I haven't had the chance to I haven't done him, unfortunately. Thomas J. Gamble, welcome first and foremost to your new membership. But thank you so much for the 10. Your Blade Guard veterans just came in the mail, so we're celebrating. Yeah! Thank you so much for the 10. That's very, very kind of you. And Leaf, thank you so much for the gifted membership. That is very, very good. Bombardment! Wait, is Joe here? Is Joe summoning me to the DMZ? Bombardment! Right. Check these out. So all these now need is a cheeky little highlight on the claws. And I've traditionally done this with Sotek Green. So that is what we shall keep doing. Richard, that is a very good question. Still waiting on Eldrad as well. Sure, he is on the list. He's actually higher up the list than most. But yes, your question, Richard, about Tyranids. We are going to... I'm not going to commit to any more, other than what we know is Deathleaper. I'm not going to commit to any other Tyranid kits at the moment until we know what the new stuff is going to be. So yes, there is a chance of a Haruspex tutorial. However, if I buy a Haruspex now, and then a new Haruspex comes out, I'll have to do 2 videos for it. And I've been down this road once on the channel where I did Farsight for Mr. Prime, Mr. Smith. And then 2 months later, Farsight came out. So there's 2 Farsight videos that are not like 10 years apart. They are 6 months or 4 months apart. Croak. Yes, Croak is on the list. Croak will be happening once I get to my Seraphon. Because as I mentioned, I've got... this is Sotek Green, by the way. And we're just going to use this to highlight the black claws. Croak will be happening to conclude the new Seraphon range. And so, as part of the new Seraphon range, what I have is a Spawn of Chotek to do. I have the Agrodon Lancers. I have the Astrolith Bearer, the Saurus Astrolith Bearer. And I also have the Skink Star Mage or Star Priest or whatever it's called. I can't remember the name of it. So, to finish all of that off, Lord Croak will be happening as part of that. And there's going to be tons of AOS content coming in the next couple of weeks. You just got to let the... Oh, a bug has come to say hello. Go away. So yes, Lord Croak will have his day. because it's a sick model. As will Nagash. As will Shalaxi Hellbane. Because Shalaxi Hellbane, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who don't follow everything demons related as closely as I do, Shalaxi Hellbane in 10th edition is busted. She's absolutely busted. Oh, she's not busted. She's not the world's worst in the world, but but Shalaxi Hellbane is very, very good. As is everything Slanesh. But you know what, guys? It's thanks to the generosity of you guys in the chat, and to everybody who watches the videos, and everybody who subscribes on Patreon, and to everybody who's a member or super chatter or liker or follower or promoter, all of you. It's thanks to you, all of you, that we get one step closer to being able to hire somebody full-time to join the Warhipster team, to free up more of my time to paint even more videos. Because if I could get to a stage where the norm is a painting video comes out every other day, but because I don't have to, you know, edit and build and organize and email and all that kind of thing, and negotiate sponsorships, not that that happens very often, it means that I just have so much more free time to paint. That would be lovely. Oh, BH, that's very, very kind of you. Good luck with your exams. Edgar, am I still sending you my giant Tau XV128 or whatever it is to paint? Where did we leave that conversation, bud? I can't remember. Baron, Nagash looks insane to paint with all the detail and swirly bits, so how are you going to get all to all the hard to reach details? I don't know. Probably with some difficulty, but I will manage it. Because every model is paintable fully assembled. Mr. Moth. New channel mascot. Mr. Moth, the moth that doesn't leave. Is he still... No, he's not still here. I don't know where he's gone. Oh, I got a bit of Sotek green on this one's skin. Ah, it's alright, it's still wet. And it's off. Did you? Did I not reply? I swear I replied. I will check my emails. I bet I'm going to go there and just see a reply sat in my draft, as it were. Because I discovered the other day, actually, that I was having... So I discovered the other day that Discord had just wiped all my notifications. So I wasn't receiving any messages at all. So it was just a case of like, I don't know where all my chats are. My chats are all gone. So I'm having to kind of just go through them. And I also discovered the other day that my emails have had this kind of massive, really restrictive blocker on them. So I've missed a bunch of things that have just gone straight into spam and then straight into the bin, which is really frustrating. That is my bad, Edgar. I'm really sorry. I will go and see what happened. I will check in a minute. Oh. Do you know what I also found out the other day is somebody has been masquerading as me on Twitter, on my private Twitter, that I hadn't looked at in 3 years. And then I got this email saying somebody's been somebody just tried to log in as you, and I was like, what? Right, I'm just going to take a little bit of Flash Gets Yellow here, straight from the pot, because we're in the mood to cheat, and we're just gonna do that. Because, good news, ladies and germs, after this, the Ripper Swarms, excluding their base, are now done. Because they really don't need any more than that. And they'll already be the most gorgeous Ripper Swarms in your army. There you go. Now we could dry brush them with Slaanesh Grey or Fulgrim Pink if we wanted to. Like we've done on the rest of it. In fact, do you know what I will do? I will take a little bit of Fulgrim Pink and just put it on the tongues. It was a year ago last Wednesday. Oh, good lord. We're just going to go straight with Fulgrim Pink like this. Because we don't need to get that all thinned down just to do what is ostensibly 8 lines. There we go. Now that one's done. That's all right, Jordan. Jordan is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. That's what they say about a Jordan. There we go. Ripper Swarms. All done. Cameron, yes, there are plans afoot to return to tabletop tactics. Last time I spoke to Lawrence, we chatted about me taking either taking Archaon and just being like, I'm tired of losing! I wish to win! And just putting Archaon down and just being like, come at me, bro. Or going to 40k. And we have a date. It's not far away now. So I'll either be going to avenge my Sylvaneth, or I'll be going to avenge the Blood Angels. Right. Commander Deord. Well, yes, I know what you mean. This is a teleport homer, which also needs to be done. But this one will be really, really quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Imperial Fist over Greyseer. I'm going to apply this just in here. And we're going to apply it here as well. Like that. Are there any non-Citadel brands you can recommend that's cheaper than Citadel? In terms of what, my friend? Because yes. $205 members. Guys, you've absolutely crushed it. We started on 131. 139 today. Let me just look up the teleport homer. I just need to see a picture of it. Yeah. Are there any different brands of contrast that are cheaper than GW? Yeah, there are. There's Speed Paint from the Army Painter. And there's also Express Colour from Vallejo. There's Dipping Inks from Green Stuff World. I don't know if they're cheaper. I think they're the same thing. There's something from Scale 75, which is the name I can't remember. The Army Painter ones are definitely cheaper, and the Express Colour ones are also cheaper. However, they come with their own different like kind of benefits and drawbacks, you see. I've got a video about which one's right for me. I think the Vallejo ones are really, really, really good. And I think in terms of the range of colour, the Speed Paint range is really good. Working with them is slightly different. The Vallejo ones is cheaper than Contrast Paint. The drawback you have with the Army Painter and Vallejo is unless you live near a independent that has those things stocked, the availability of them is a lot less than it is Games Workshop stuff. Because if you live near a Games Workshop, the paints will be there, right? Ostensibly. Express Colour I have found to be quite difficult to get a hold of. They look hot though. So there's some Express Colours. I have the entire range of Express Colour. I bought it myself. And I did a little... I showed off all the colours. There's 2 live streams. One where I showed all the Army Painter, and one where I showed all the Express Colour ones. If there are more out there that I haven't listed, someone in the chat will tell you. We're Right, I need... Where is it? Iron Warriors. I did get the... I did get it. I got it last week, actually, your mail. It's taken that long for me to get... what was it called? Nuclear Yellow? Here we are. Iron Warriors. My favorite thing about the speed paints is the range of color. There is so much range of color from speed paint, and they have a really good workability factor. So they stay kind of they stay a little bit more malleable, so they stay wetter for longer, so that you've got more time to kind of move them around. They do, in my experience, have a little bit of trouble with some reactivation issues, even in the second edition, but not as bad as it was in the first one by any stretch of the imagination, and not on every color, unlike with the first iteration of speed paint. Vallejo has the longest drying time after application, which makes it the most workable of the paints, but the range of colors is really limited. There's also no bone color, for example, so like if you wanted to do a Deathwing army, Vallejo just isn't an option for you, because there isn't a bone color in the range, which is really weird and surprising. And I suspect that they intended to do one, but they just couldn't get it right. Is what I would kind of assume. But, like I said, there's a lot to like about all three of the ranges. And if price is an important factor, which it is, the speed paint, I think the Vallejo ones are the cheapest, actually. I can't remember. One of the Vallejo or the Army Painter Speed Painter ones is the cheapest of the three. I don't remember which one. Either way, they're very good. The only thing I would say is don't be fooled or surprised by speed paint metallics, because I even in theory they don't work, but when I've tried them, they did not work at all. They made glittery surfaces and glittery recesses. They did not make a metallic. The edge highlight that these paints create was not a metallic edge highlight. It was just white. So it got a very aggressive pullback on the Army Painter metallics speed paints. But otherwise, really good range. Just not quite right for me. AO and Rosemary & Co. What are we talking about? 40k in Colchester has good prices for them all. Good. I like that shop. I've not been into it, but I've used their customer service and they're nice people. Has anyone told you you sound like Jared Harris? Do you know what, Caitlin? Yes. I've heard it once before that I do sound like Jared Harris. The one I most often get told is I sound like Alan Rickman, which I don't hear in my own voice. But no, I've not heard that before. Right, I'm gonna do something insane now. Yeah, no, I don't hear the Rickman either. I've never heard it, and I'm like, no, I don't sound like Alan Rickman. Hang on, which way around do these go? They go up, and there's 3 of them. Right, okay. So, what we have coming up next is Black Legion. And we're doing some hazard striping. One, 2, and then there's a third one. Like that. That's how I roll. I freehand everything. I just need to straighten it up a little bit, but I can't really do it from... I'm going to go like this, so you can all see my beautiful face. I'll sit like this then, shall I? Display case rundown. Yeah, I can do that. So, top Up here is where I keep all of my Stormcast Eternals. So Stormcast Eternals and Go Trek is there. This is where I keep all of my Space Marines characters. So in here we have Calgar, Njal, Adrax, Agatone, Shrike, Lazarus, Torgaradon, Khosrow Khan, Manius Calgar, I don't know if I already said him, Togurius, Ironfather Phyros is in here, a Gladiator Space Wolf, a Gladiator Invictus, some Hounds of Morkai, Ragnar's in there, Fafnir ran when he could have walked, an Empress Champion, we have, what's his name, Saul Tarvitz, we have Uriel Ventress is in there, usually my Blood Angels characters are in here as well. Yeah, so in here, that is a Space Wolf Gladiator. Then down here, which you can't see, in fact, you know what? Let's just do this, shall we? I'm going to have to coordinate this looking in the opposite direction. Right, here we go. Hello. I clicked the wrong one. Right, so there we have Stormcast Eternals, more Space Marines, some Flesh Hounds are in here for some reason, but that's where the Leagues of Votann are, sponsored by EE. This is my Middle-earth shelf. So in there we've got the Rohan Battle Host, the Isengard Battle Host, Treebeard, Rumil and Orphan, and what's it called? Battle for Osgiliath, they're in there. Down here we have Kragnos, and we have Thingy the War Boss, whatever his name is. Can't remember, the one on the Vulture. What's his name? We have Dominion is in there as well. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's gone wrong. Gobsprack, that's the one. Okay, we're back. Actually, I wonder if... Hang on. I wonder if I can make this less awkward. I can make this less awkward. So yeah, here we go. So there's my Leagues of Otan. There's all my recently painted Battles of Middle-earth. Then here we go. Kragnos and Gobsprak and Indrasta is in there. The all of the Stormcast and the Cruel Boys are in there. Then down here we have the man. The man, the myth, the legend. Archaon. We have my Night House. We have a plate. So there we go. Under there. Hang on. Under there we have Chaos Knights. We have Sylvaneth. Only a portion of the Sylvaneth. Under there we have our Slaves to Darkness. They're all in there. Having a good time. This is our... We have some Hallowed Knights in here. Then we have Primarchs. Sanguinius is normally in here as well, but he's out in the shed at the moment. There's Rogel Dawn is in there. Jagatai Khan is in there. The Lion is in there from Horus Heresy. Horus Ascended is in there, and like I said, Sanguinius normally sits there. And then we have my Chaos Space Marine shelf. And again, Angron is normally there, but he's currently in a different box. There's Mr. Abaddon. There's all of the World Eaters. Fabius Bile, he's in there. All the cultists are in there. There's the Demon Prince back there. And then up here, we have more demons. Vashtor the Archifane. He's in here. We have Shadow Sun. She shouldn't be there. She should be in a different cabinet. And then on the top shelf, not quite. More demons. Rank upon rank of demons. We have the Curseling. He's here. I forgot I had him for a minute there. Then we have up here. Excuse me 1 second. It is the IKEA. It is the IKEA Detolf cabinet. In here we have Umbral 6. We have the a custodian in there. Ephrael Stern is in here. We have the Triumph of St. Catherine. Captain Basinius is in here. Jane Zar, Drazar, the Necrons, the Bloodthirster, Zarek the Silent King, the Void Dragon, Gazcol, some AOS characters down here. There you go. This is my cabinet. And then up there we have terrain. So there's the Osgiliath stuff. And then over yonder, there's more stuff. That's where I take my photos. And behind that door there are secret things, which you can't see. But what was on the plate? On the plate was my ham sandwich from lunchtime. I had a delicious ham and cheese sandwich. I had the same lunch I have every single day because I'm a creature of habit. So I like to have a ham and cheese sandwich. And I like to have some crisps. Yeah, no, 100%. I'm a big fan of cheese and onion crisps. But I also love ready salted and salt and vinegar. To be honest, I'll eat most crisps. I just don't really particularly like prawn cocktail. And As much as that might make me a terrible person. What sort of cheese on the cheddar? So it's a mature cheddar. Honey roasted ham. Yep, 100%. What you painting can we see? You can. I'm just doing some hazard stripes. You can see it in just a second. There we go. I did the first bit on the camera. There we go. So I was doing those black hazard stripes. And then, because it's a blood angel, we need to grab normally oh well, welcome Diving Bean. We need to grab some Blood Angels Red. Normally we would apply a coat of Bile Red first, but who has the time? Again, on something as small as this, it doesn't really need it. There we go. And really now that just needs shading and then it's done. Ah, Diving Bean. Thank you so much for becoming a member. That's very, very kind of you, sir. Or madam. Thank you. 206. Let's go, baby. Let's go. What do you already have some of, Michael Penny? That's up there. Haven't used Nuln Oil in ages. So we're just going to grab some Nuln Oil. I'm just going to whack this over the top of all the silver and all the black. And barring a couple of little highlights, although it doesn't really need it, it's just a teleport homer, it's a token after all. There we go. Warhipster battle ready. Apart from the skull. I know, I'm a heathen. Because it's Blood Angel, we do just need to take a little bit of Black Legion. And apply it over the skull like that. And that is a finished, well, it needs some highlights, but we don't need to do those now. There we go. Guys, it's late. It's 11 o'clock. Thank you so much for all of your kind generosity. Thank you very much for your generosity this evening. It's very, very, very kind of you. You've made me very humble today. It is early for me. I've got a little bit more to do this evening, but for that I require the camera and not to be talking. So I also require a drink and need to go and wipe my face with a allergy wipe and all that good stuff. So I want to say thank you very much to everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much for all the gifted memberships. You were very, very generous. Thank you very much for helping me hit the goal of 200. That's amazing. We will be back next week with more, I'm sure. Choice of drink. Coca-Cola Zero. Or water. I might gun a pint of water. 170 likes on the stream. My goodness me, that's incredible. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, guys. I will see you all very, very soon in the next one. There will be a video tomorrow and on Friday and on Saturday and on Sunday and on Monday and on Tuesday and on Thursday and on Friday, and there will be another stream next week. There's 8 more videos to go. I will see you all very soon. Bye bye. Love you. Love you very much. Bye bye. Good night. Sleep well. Bye bye. Bye bye.